already know what's going to happen when we're done with this week's episode of AEW Ups and Downs. There's going to be a massive fight in the comments of people going, WWE. Just enjoy wrestling, damn it. Watch this. I love WWE. Mwah. I love AEW. Mwah. I love Impact. Mwah. What I don't love is that I'm a bald ass on the internet right now kissing my hands trying to predict what's going to happen. Anyway, my point is this. AEW Dynamite last night was absolute fire. It was like NBA Jam. So let's take the finger of power and give the good bits an up. And, well, give the bad bits a down. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Brace yourself. Let's do it. Right, I don't think this has ever happened before. I've been doing ups and downs for a long ass time and I can't remember this ever happening. But the first match on this week's AEW Dynamite was Pac versus Kenny Omega in a 30-minute Iron Man match. And I think they forgot that they were opening the start of a free weekly television show, because you could have put this on any pay-per-view in the entire world and everybody would have applauded it like they were watching Swan Lake. It was incredible, and that's why it doesn't just get an up, it gets a golden up. If you haven't seen this, go and watch it right now. When you're done, you're going to have to lay down on a bed and just reconsider your own life for a while, because it's just that mad. And it was almost like telling a kid, hey kid, you better not eat any more sweets because you'll just explode. And the kid going, well, you know what? I don't care. It's worth the risk given what I could get at the end of this. And that's what Kenny Omega and Pac decided to do. It was like, well, we could worry that we're the opening of a free television show, but we don't care. We just want to try and kill each other. And boy, howdy, that's what they did. Because as soon as these two were done trading a few holds, they just pulled the trigger. And my word, some of the stuff they did. Again, it was 30 minutes, but it was just go, 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 go. It was breathtaking. And I mean that, it took my breath away. And I was running around my living room trying to pull breath back into my mouth. Within a few minutes, Kenny was going for the one-winged angel, but the bastard was able to reverse it into the brutalizer. And then, for some reason, Pac found himself on the outside, so Kenny just dived over the top rope, and it was as beautiful as an eagle. And then back in the squared circle, he hit the Katoro Crusher, which is what I think Excalibur called it. It's just basically a bulldog, but all of this happened in the space of around about 30 seconds. It was just so quick. From there, it was just mesmerizing with all the reversals that these two were doing. Like, they were on the top rope, and Omega was teasing that he was going to hit a one-wing angel from up there, but Pac was like, no, you're not going to do that to me, because I'll be dead. So instead, he turned it into a powerbomb. I just went for a walk at this stage, because I was actually exhausted. Things then got a bit fruity, but it's this whole idea about taking what's old and making it new again. As long as you present it in the right context, everything is going to be okay. Because Pac was like, I know what I can do. And he just waylaid Kenny Omega with a chair. But because that inflicted so much pain onto Omega, Pac was then able to hit the Black Arrow, and he tied it up 1-1. And this worked on two levels. A, Pac is a bastard. He tells you that straight off. So it added to his character, but it also allowed you to get the falls to 1-1. I don't really like it when Iron matches are 0-0, because that kind of takes away the point of the whole thing. I should also throw out here, the Young Bucks had accompanied Kenny Omega to the ring, and they were all worried about their friend here, like, oh no, Kenny's in trouble, what are we going to do? Somehow we then brought all this up a notch too, and I don't even understand how that is possible, because Pac hit Kenny Omega with a Falcon Arrow off the apron onto the floor, and how Kenny Omega is standing right now, I don't know. And then after he'd hit a drop kick onto Kenny, he went flying back inadvertently and crushed the referee. So now there was no official to try and calm these idiots down. So what did the former Neville do? Well, he got out a table, he put Omega onto it, he then climbed up onto the ring post, and I'm closing my eyes so I stay calm, and he hit a shooting star press from there through the wood. What do you want me to say about that? What do you want me to say? Understandably, this led to a near double count-out spot, because of course it did. I'm surprised the coroner didn't walk down the aisle and go, well, these people aren't alive anymore. And sure, the whole Kenny Omega getting in there kind of after the 10 count, and also because Matt and Nick Jackson picked him up and threw him in the ring, was a little bit rubbish, but it's all stuff for Pac to get mad about and say, hey, I shouldn't have lost. He was having outside help. It was just nuts from this point until the finish, and even when we got there, we once again used old school logic that I've already justified. why I don't mind it, because Pac locked in the brutalizer, but Kenny Omega refused to tap, so he kind of like transitioned it into like a crucifix hold. Anyway, he was just trying to choke Kenny Omega out, but Kenny didn't want to lose, so he held on until we got to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The match is a draw. Unfortunately, however, this is where Pac lost his damn mind. He couldn't believe that this has happened, so he just started beating up the referee. Then Justin Roberts got on the microphone and said, "We are going to sudden death." Aubrey Edwards ran out to do the officiating. That's when Kenny decided he was just gonna finish this off. He hit, what did he hit? A V-trigger, hit a Kamagoye, then he hit the one-winning angel. In around about 15 seconds, Kenny Omega is your winner. But really, the victors of all of this are us, the fans, and the spirit of entertainment. So sure, that came a little bit out of nowhere, but we told an amazing story here. Everybody comes out with something to say, and again, it was the opening of a TV match. I am going to take a long-ass time to get over this. Brilliant. Foolishly, Tony Schiavone then interviewed Pac afterwards and started giving the man some sass. What you giving sass to Pac for, Tony Schiavone? Do you want to have your head removed from your body? But he asked Pac how he felt after being a dick for all of these weeks and now losing, and rightfully so. Pac was like, "Are you saying these words to me?" And it wasn't for Orange Cassidy, who was making his entrance. Who knows where Schiavone would be now? But instead of pulverizing him, Pac went, "Well, I don't like that guy either," and he beat up Orange Cassidy. Got more to talk about when it comes to that later. And then we also had like a nothing segment when somebody was trying to interview Chris Jericho, and they went to Chris Jericho's locker room, but Jake Hagar came out and just went like this, because that's what Jake Hagar does. And then instead of letting us relax, AEW presented the Jurassic Express versus the Inner Circle. I could have used some downtime here, but that's not what All Elite Wrestling is all about. And I said to these two teams, why don't you go out there and just go mad, because we are on the path to Bonkers Town. Also, this did feature a dinosaur, therefore, Dino Up. Jungle Boy flew out of the corner and he was hitting topes all over the place, and then Luchasaurus was in the ring and he was going nuts too and hitting standing moonsaults. And Marco Stunt tried to do the same, but because of his size, unfortunately, he essentially hit a brick wall, and that allowed Guevara, Ortiz, and Santana to take over and start laying down some heat. Hilariously, it all came down to that loaded sock too, and that stupid loaded sock makes me laugh every week because, of course, it is a loaded sock. I understand that it would hurt if you hit someone with it, but it's still people waving a sock over their heads. And it was Sammy Guevara threatening to hit Jungle Boy, but there was one person who was having none of it, and that, of course, was Darby Allin. He came down here, he took the sock away from Sammy Guevara, and that allowed Jungle Boy to hit a Hurricane Rana and get the win for the Jurassic ones. And then Darby Allin beat up Sammy Guevara a little bit afterwards. Just a decent build for their match on Saturday, although on the down low, I kind of hope Sammy Guevara wins. I don't know. I'm going with my gut instincts. I just think it would serve him better. There was a Cody MJF height segment to divide the next two matches, and that was really damn good, by the way. And then we had another tag team match, as it was the Butcher and the Blade taking on the Best Friends. Again, just super entertaining and fun. I just want to make a quick side point that I don't understand what AEW is doing with the Butcher and the Blade. They were brought in as hitmen, and they lose all the time. Agent 47 they are not, but that said, give it up. And this was mostly for the comedy sequence that happened halfway through the thing. I know he has his haters and his doubters. Well, you just fast forward the video 30 seconds, because the Bunny and Orange Cassidy were in the middle of the ring at one point, and they were staring at each other, and that damn Bunny had the audacity to take the sunglasses off Orange Cassidy's head and put her on her own face. She then went to kick him in the balls, but Cassidy was having none of that and blocked it, and instead grabbed the bunny ears off her bunny head, slapped that on his head. I mean, this is the dumbest thing you've ever seen in your life, but did I enjoy it? Yes. Yes, I did. He then took off and toped the Blade on the outside, which allowed the Best Friends to hit the Strong Zero onto the Butcher. They get the 1, 2, 3, and they couldn't have been happier if they tried. There was a lot of hugs. It's also important to note that the crowd reacted to this like Hulk Hogan slamming Andre at WrestleMania 3. So even if you don't like Orange Cassidy, sometimes you just got to call a spade and accept that when you're that over, something has gone very right. And that brings us to another post-match interview, and who in the hell saw this coming? Because Tony Schiavone was in the ring with our winners, and he then let us know that at Revolution, AEW's pay-per-view that's happening this Saturday night, it is going to be Orange Cassidy versus Pac. Not only that, but Taylor also told us that this time it's going to be different because Orange is going to try, before Trent jumped in and said, no, he hasn't told us that. We don't know if he is going to try, but fingers crossed he does. And the fans started to chant, "He shall try," or "He will try." Just one big try chanting. Orange Cassidy did his lazy thumb pose. I can't imagine what this match is going to be, but if it is where AEW lets Orange Cassidy out the cage, the fans' reaction to that is probably going to just cause an explosion. Right, okay, the women's division I still think needs a little bit more structure, but when it works, and right here, it worked. Because it was indeed a four-way, and Shana was taking on Big Swole, who was taking on Shida, who was taking on Sakazaki. It was like someone took a big syringe and injected it right into my eyes, and then when I looked what liquid was in there, it was super happy fun time. Giving it up. Because look, was there a triple test of strength which made absolutely no sense? Yes, there was. Did I see a double Hurricane Rana? Yes, I did. Is Sakazaki slowly becoming one of my favourite wrestlers because she's just so happy and she's like an agile bean? Yes, all these are yeses. The best bit was Sakazaki broke up that three-way test of strength because she was just watching it going, why have I been left out of this? That's not very fair. And then Big Swole was shining up and she hit a bit cutter, as did Shana when she busted out the Angel's wings. Shida wasn't going to be denied either as he slammed Sakazaki onto Shana and then noticed Big Swole in the corner, so gave her the running knee for the victory. So this was short, it was easy to watch, it was very clear that AEW was listening to feedback and trying to incorporate that onto Dynamite, and it was also made very clear that the winner of this is likely going to face the winner of Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander, which happens this weekend at the pay-per-view. There it is, there's my foundations. Once you build the foundations, you can build the house, and then you can start decorating the damn thing. Because that's all I need, small steps to allow me to see which direction we're gonna go in. Superman. And you gotta hand it to Matt Hardy and AEW too, because do they know how to stir the ship. We had a Dark Order video here. It was just Evil Uno standing there going, Dark Order is great. SCU, we will ruin your lives, and Christopher Daniels, you're gonna be screwed. But also, this is the big bit, you shall be rendered obsolete. And who used to say obsolete all the time? That's right, Broken Matt Hardy. So now there's rumors out there that Hardy's going to go to NXT. There's rumors out there that he's going to be the leader of the Dark Order. All Elite Wrestling is now playing into it, and it just leaves you with 1,000 questions, but ultimately makes you want to see what direction we're going to go in. There's that word again, direction. The show did need a change of pace at this moment, and that's when AEW delivered their too, because we went to a pre-recorded interview where it was the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and Hangman Page having a little chat with Jim Ross. As always though, my phone, my autocorrect, tried to screw me over because it wanted to call Hangman Page Bangman Page, and that changes that character completely. Also though, this really got me invested in their match at the pay-per-view. It's getting it up. Because there was some serious tension here, and I actually feel sorry for Hangman Page. Because not only was Jim Ross saying, hey Young Bucks, I think you're the greatest tag team ever. The Young Bucks were going, we think we're the greatest tag team ever. And then Kenny Omega welled in, well, you know, me and this guy, this cowboy, we just stumble into something. Young Bucks, clearly, you are the best thing ever. No wonder Hangman Page was pissed off. So he did want to know from Matt and Nick why you keep stealing my limelight. And also, Kenny, why aren't you more invested in this little relationship we've got going down over here? He also pointed out that he wanted to leave the Elite, but nobody would give him the time of day and kind of just ignored his request. And I am solely in the Cowboys' corner. It ended with Page storming off, and for a little bit here, like I say, there was a proper atmosphere. And while Kenny Omega, Matt and Nick Jackson want to remain friends, it's clear they're not going to be able to do this because it's slowly starting to get personal. So you're just desperate now to see how this is all going to implode at the pay-per-view, because you know what the story is here. Everybody wants to win, and while three of those guys are happy to shake hands afterwards, the other is not, because he feels like he's not getting his due, and he's making a very good point. Bangman Page, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like he's about to arrive and just do some banging. Thank goodness he's actually called Hangman. So it was simple but effective, and you could likely say the same thing for our go-home angle. And I know what the scores are right now. I've already hinted at it, but I've got to be honest. Integrity is the most important thing. Some people go, Simon, you just try and look for downs when you review AEW. No, I don't. I go with my gut. I say, Mr. Gut, what do you think? It goes up or down, and that's how I figure all this stuff out. However, Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, their big hoo-ha-ha before their big match this weekend, it is getting it up. And it was a weigh-in between these two, but even doing something like a weigh-in just made it feel fresh. Like most places do contract signings. I know that AEW's done that too. But listen, I have been massively invested over the last couple of weeks in Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, and just kind of taking a leaf out of their book and putting it here. I'm not saying that was their inspiration, but it felt like it to me as a fan. made it feel so much more legit. Jericho made a big song and dance about going on the scales because he's Le Champion and believes he should go second, and he also told the fans that Missouri is a piece of shit and that they, and I quote, should shut their asses. Shut their asses? What does that even mean? Moxley had no issue whatsoever though, and he did indeed get on the scales and he weighed in at 234 pounds. Now there is no way that Jon Moxley is 234 pounds, but who cares? It was then Chris's turn, but again, he took his sweet time to the point Jon Moxley just got fed up and headbutted him right in the face, to the point he actually busted Jericho open for real and he needed stitches. And in any other kind of scenario, you'd be like, well, that wasn't very nice, Jon Moxley, but honestly, Jericho was taking so long, you were like, yeah, somebody needs to smash him right in the skull. Because he was taking longer than an OAP at a post office, and then all of this broke down because in a circle in there and they were fighting Jon Moxley and then Dustin Rhodes was out there to get in Jake Hagar's face, and they brawled all the way to the backstage area where they even fell into the Dippin' Dots concession stand. And my word, did Jim Ross not like that. He was going crazy going, not the Dippin' Dots, what did the Dippin' Dots do to anybody? Honestly though, go and find this clip. I almost lost my face. I was laughing so much. Those poor damn Dippin' Dots. Darby Allin was also out there, but he got thumped in the head thanks to Sammy Guevara, who used the skateboard again to crush his head. And when all this calmed down, it just left Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley. And you know what Chris Jericho did? He hit Jon in the balls, he hit him with the Judas effect, and then gave him his own paradigm shift finisher onto the scale, and Jon Moxley sold that like he had been killed. It means we got a closing shot of Chris Jericho standing there over Jon Moxley with that belt held aloft over his head, and you can say without any doubt that I am very, very excited about AEW's Revolution pay-per-view. They have made all this come into a big excitement pot at the right time. No, just a great show. Just a great show. I don't even care. I'm an integral guy, but you got to be honest. You got to be honest. Like we shouted all about NXT TakeOver recently, how great that was. This was a fantastic weekly television show. So there's my overall arrow. I'm going to give it a down just to wind people up. Of course I'm not. I'm going to give it an up. If you have never checked out AEW before, learn about the stories, learn about the characters, then watch this. And if you don't like it, it's just not for you, which is cool, which is fine. That was some great television. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about AEW Dynamite. I know I'm a big AEW shill. It's boring. I don't care. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling. Just go click. Then head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles. Follow WhatCulture on Twitter, WhatCulture WWE. Watch more videos here on WhatCulture Wrestling. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thank you very much for joining me. And remember, later on, we will do ups and downs for WWE Super Showdown. That's going to be an interesting tamale. Then we'll do ups and downs for SmackDown on Saturday. Then we'll do ups and downs for Revolution on Sunday. And then I shall rest. This bald asshole will be seeing you a lot over the next few days.